Hi, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. This video topic is going to be about sex after marriage to a Filipina, and it comes from a TikTok comment. I can't show you here, but what it said was basically that your sex life stops after you get married to a woman from the Philippines, and then they added on, it's all about family, 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 and you're not very high on their priority list. So while this is something I've heard my whole life as kind of a running joke, another version is, well, you only get sex 2 or 3 times a week, if that, and so you just have to be happy with that. Other people will say they don't get that in a year. So there seems to be a lot of, I'll call it, problems with intimacy after marriage. That's what I want to talk about, because that's a major selling point of marriage to a man wherever he goes to find a wife. So the problem here, as I see it, and first of all, this disclaimer, and before that, please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea, get notifications for other videos, leave a comment, is that you shouldn't be having intercourse before marriage. That's just, their body doesn't belong to you, your body doesn't belong to them. As a Christian, that's wrong. Anybody can do it if you get out there and look for a wife, so you don't have to go long periods of being alone and frustrated. So other than that, when you're about to be married or considering somebody, talk to them about it. What is their view on sex? You'd be surprised. I talked to a man one time his wife had not been intimate with him since they got married, like a year ago, and I actually talked to her and said, why do you feel this way? And she said, because sex is dirty. Why do you feel that way? Because that's what my mother taught me. Evidently, her husband, at the time fiance, never asked her about this. How important is sex to you? How big of a need is it? Practically speaking, how do you see that going? How often? And these are important questions, just like being open about money issues, being open about mental health issues, being open about previous relationship issues. Yeah, talk about your view on sexual intimacy, because it will drive a man out of his mind if he has these expectations and needs and it's not going to be met by his wife. That's just a terrible, terrible thing. And so you just have to talk about it. Nothing is too private when you're about to marry somebody. So just talk about it. That's it. Find out. And when you're married, keep talking about it. Keep reiterating it. If he or she is not measuring up, so to speak, to what the expectations were discussed before marriage, then that needs to be discussed ongoing after you're married. No big deal there. You can talk about those things. If it's important to you, you will. And then the last thing I want to say about this is, after having said all that, after marrying a Filipina or anyone else, you got to treat her right. While I will say, because the Bible says the wife's body belongs to the husband, husband's body belongs to the wife, that does not give him, who usually has the stronger drive, to force himself on her, to be overly critical. It's still, sex is part of a healthy relationship, and if the sex isn't there, the relationship probably isn't healthy. I'm not saying it's dying or it's on life support. I'm just saying, if it can be there and it's not, then the relationship is not healthy, in my opinion. Please leave a comment if you disagree with me, because I think this is very important to talk about before marriage. Think about these big age gap relationships. I've always felt that past a certain point, there are diminishing returns because of the age of the man. He could be 10, 15 years older, but kind of physically and biologically be 40 years older if he's unhealthy. He hasn't taken care of himself. But this is critical, and so just talk about it, and then you won't have to say, well, I'm not getting much after marriage, because that's a terrible, terrible thing, in my opinion. You know, many of us can say our sex life didn't go away when we got married. We could say our sex life has been what I wanted it to be after marriage. Again, I believe in no sex before marriage. And people talk about, well, how do you know you're compatible when you get married? That's a whole other topic. But if there's physical attraction from the man, then that shouldn't be too big of an issue. Maybe more of an issue for the woman, especially if there is a large age gap. Again, please leave comments about that. This isn't an age gap video, but it's a video about this comment, about sex not being married. That's when you're supposed to have it, and it's supposed to be not good, but great. And as often as the two of them in total want it, that's the goal. Now, I know life gets in the way. We all know that. But it's so important that you cannot just let it die and let it go. It's very important. I think it's critical. So let me know what you think about this, and leave a comment and subscribe. Got over 1,600 videos, lots of playlists for you to look at. A clarity link if you want to talk to me and ask me anything you want. Stuff you might not want to ask in YouTube comments. And keep watching here on Love Beyond the Sea.